Welcome to RotoWire's fantasy football draft season, sponsored by Circa Millions. What if I told you that last year's lack of running back injuries was a trend and not an anomaly? In the previous few years, many fantasy players loaded up on those wide receivers early in their fantasy drafts. Then last year, all of a sudden, running backs we thought were fragile or small, Devon Achane, Kyren Williams, James Conner, they defied the odds, played at least 16 games each. If you believe those injuries were just a one-year anomaly, then go back and pound wide receivers early again. That was the best plan to the last 3 years. But I believe running back health was the beginning of a new trend. You see, the league defenses are more focused than ever on stopping the pass. What does that mean? Instead of 3 or 4 linebackers on the field, commonly you see 2 linebackers who are the big run stoppers on the field. These linebackers are lighter than ever to defend the pass. So as a result, between the offensive lineman and tight end, they can block each of the defenders. No free runners on most occasions. Smaller defenders that are not as big hitters as the formerly bigger linebackers were. So these running backs are in an optimal situation. And health isn't the only reason to grab these running backs early. If most running backs aren't going to see the workload that Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson are going to see, production's still going to be high because the offensive coaches learned last year that defenses play their safeties and everybody back so far to stop the pass. The running backs are getting free yards before contact or after catching the ball. These running back touches against these deeper coverages, it makes the running back efficiency go way up. So how are we drafting in 2025? There are 2 great approaches I'll give you after letting you know that Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. The Circa Million, you pick 5 games against the spread each week, 18 weeks of action with 126 ways to win, $1 million for the winner, and $6 million guaranteed. There's Circa Survivor too. 1 pick a week, no point spread. You last the longest to win it all. At least $15 million guaranteed overall. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed over both contests. Visit circasports.com for details. All right, the first approach is going old school. It's taking running back in the first 2 rounds of your draft. If you got one of those top 6 picks, you might get yourself Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, or Jahmyr Gibbs. One of them often will go in the top 6-ish range. Obviously, the earlier the pick, the more likely you get your choice of the 3. If you're picking a little closer to the top 10, here's a bonus pick. If you're in a large field tournament, consider taking Christian McCaffrey. The injury history, I get it. But if you want to take down a tournament, not a single league, Christian McCaffrey has been the running back 1 or the running back 2 in his 4 healthy seasons. But otherwise, if you don't want to take that risk, if you're in a single league, no problem. You have great options later in the first round, early second round. You got Ashton Genty, Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, moving into the second round more, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. These are all great options. And even at the end of the second round, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, Kyren Williams, these are players that are always available in the majority of drafts in the first 2 rounds. You can give 2 of these superstars getting your roster set up for success. And then if you really want to reach up for a player who normally goes in the 3rd round, take a look at Breece Hall. Breece Hall was a superstar his first 2 years in the league. Last year, apparently he says, Breece Hall did, that he played through a sprained MCL, which might explain why he was not as productive as we'd like. That could change this year if it was just health. So keep an eye on him as well. Now, the next approach. So the first one was take running back. The next one, obviously most leagues have a flex spot. If your league has a flex spot, consider taking a 3rd running back somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th round. As I mentioned, Breece Hall is often in the 3rd round. Omarion Hampton, James Conner in the 4th or 5th round. These are great choices. There are other options on the board as well. But what this does is, as I mentioned earlier, if these lighter defenses with less linebackers are going to make it easier for running backs, then you want to capitalize on this. But the thing is, your running backs are going to have bye weeks. And if you have 3 high-quality running backs, then when there's a bye week for your other starters, the other 3rd running back moves in. Otherwise, that running back stays in a flex for you. If a running back misses a couple games, you're covered there. It really gives you a lot of flexibility. And then the other thing is, if you do take 3 running backs this early, You really can wait till after the 10th round to add depth to your running back room because you are going in with the mindset that you'll be set at running back. So don't make the mistake of piling up even more running backs that are going to sit in your bench while you could be drafting starters for your weekly lineup. So again, this takes advantage of the current NFL landscape on defense. These plans will also give you a great option. One of your other running backs has a situation that needs covering, and this has put you in a great position to win your 2025 Fantasy Football League. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to enter the Circa Million and Circa Survivor contest with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You go to circasports.com for details.